Hello, welcome back. Today I'm in my 2007 Taurus and I'm going to be replacing the fuel pump. More of a preventative maintenance than a necessity. I just want to get to it before it fails. It's got 125,000 on it. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the engineering mode, and that's done by holding the reset and turning the key on. And so you'll get a engineering test mode display. It's going to go through a couple things. Going to go through a gauge test. Sorry about the light being so bad. And to cycle through the different steps, I'm going to press the reset button. All segments of the fluorescent display. Telltale test where it lights all the lights up. The part number on the ECM, I'm assuming what version ROM it has in it. Data manufacturer, configuration bytes. I've got no DTC, so the check engine light is not on. And I'm going to go through here until I see the fuel level, 91 rads. And that's a resistance analog to digital conversion. And then the next press will be fuel level status. And it is 6.8. It's not 68% by any means, as you can tell on the fuel gauge. It's at about a quarter tank. And the reason I want to check these is when I replace the fuel pump, it has the fuel sending unit on there. I want to make sure I get close to the same fuel level reading as opposed to having to readjust this thing. Okay, so now that I know that what my levels are, I'm going to go ahead and disconnect the negative terminal of the battery. I'm just going to shut the key off. So I've got my socket ready. Help if it's going in the right direction. Anytime you're working with fuel, always disconnect the battery, just to be safe. And I'm going to tuck it away under here so it doesn't inadvertently pop back up. And go ahead and close the hood down at this point. So that I can work on the vehicle, I've got the front up on ramps and I've got the back up on jack stands. And so here's the fuel tank right in here. It's going to be held in place with those two straps that you see. So we're going to go ahead and disconnect those straps. And let me see. And we're going to go ahead and disconnect the filler and the vapor return line from the fuel tank as well. And so last time I was here, I broke these little clips. I had to take the fuel tank out because there was a dent right where the fuel pump was, and it was causing the fuel pump to sit at an angle where the sending unit was reporting about a half a tank low than it should have been. So anyhow, those clips go up in here. Normally you just squeeze the tabs and you pull them back and it releases. And so I've got two connectors with those in there. So at this point, I should be able to just freely push the lines off of here. Let me set the camera down. There it comes. Okay, so I got those two loose. Next, I'm just going to go ahead and loosen that hose clamp right there. We'll take that guy off too. All right, so I've got the hose clamp out of the way, and I got this kind of broke loose. It may take a little bit. Well, I went ahead and got it loose. I had this other connector to pull off of here that runs up here to the return vapor recovery line. So I've got all these loose. Got the filler neck disconnected from the tank. Let's go ahead and loosen those straps and get ready to drop the tank down. Okay, so with the aid of a jack, I've got the tank out. It's laying here kind of at an angle. All I got to do now is disconnect the high pressure fuel line from the fuel filter, and there's the top of the fuel pump right there. And so, yeah, it would have been nice if they put an access panel up under here like some cars do, but nope. So all I got to do is disconnect that, and then we can just take the tank completely out, take a peek at it. All right, so here's a quick tip. Once you get the tank down and the strap just hanging loose, this pin is kept up in place in here and you can't really get it out. But if you reach in with some needle nose pliers, you can pull the pin out and the strap will just completely fall out. And you can move it completely out of the way. Okay, so I've got a rag under here because there's probably going to be a residual pressure in the system because I just drove it in here 30 minutes ago. So I'm going to press down on this tab right there. Press in. I've actually already got it undone. Yep, there's the fuel spurting out. And of course there's going to be fuel in the line that wants to run out. So I'm going to try to tuck it up. Up there, there's the fuel filter if you need to change it. I might just go ahead and change it now. And by the looks of things, it's not going to stay. Oh well, it's going to get a little fuel on the garage floor. I'll try to get it in that rag as best I can right there. There we go. That should be fine. Now I can just go ahead and pull the fuel tank out. It's done. I've already disconnected the connector. To disconnect it, just simply push down on that tab right there. If I can get the camera to focus. Push down on that tab and then pull the other half apart. Okay, so I've got it out and ready to go. Just need to disconnect the red tab on here, and that's done by just simply pushing this lever over, and then once it's over, you can push this out. That goes ahead and unlocks it so that and go ahead and press that button down and unplug the power from the fuel pump. So next is just this ring that's on here, and to get the ring off, you just basically knock it with a punch or a chisel, knock it around until it's free of these little tabs right here, and it lifts right off. Okay, so I've just knocked it counterclockwise. Now it can be taken completely off. This is spring loaded, so be careful. It may jump up a little bit. Okay, got it completely out. Now it's just a matter of fishing it up and out. Got those little hoses. Try to drain some of the fuel out of it. The filter. And the float. So it's completely out of the tank and ready to go. Ready to go at this point. So next there's a little opening right above the cinder unit here. And as you can see, it has fuel in it, so I'm going to try that's the reservoir. I'm going to try to pour most of it back into the tank. There we go. Yeah, I got most of it. Now is certainly a time to take a look in the tank and see what's down there. Almost looks like a piece of solder. And a little bit of debris. I'm going to try to get that debris out of there somehow. I'll probably use a little siphon and a hose to try to pluck it up. Maybe a little eyedropper before I put the new tank in, or the new fuel pump in. All right, so I got most of the crud out of there. Comes with a new O-ring. So I've cleaned the O-ring path. I'm just going to go ahead and set it in there. And before I drop the new pump in, I'm going to go ahead and attach the fuel cinder unit. They don't have these attached from the factory. All right, and that's all ready to go. So this one is a Delphi. There's another video I'm going to post soon. I chose the Delphi. I've had very good luck with them over the years. It's hard to see, but it's got the arrow to tell me which orientation it goes. There's the logo stamped into it, so you know it's an original replacement part. Had, like I said, extremely good luck with these over the years. They do cost a little bit more. Make sure you get an original Delphi if you choose to get one. The box is, you'll know if it's a Delphi box. It has the logo all over it. It's a very high quality cardboard box as opposed to just a flimsy little made in China or made in Korea box. Anyhow, let's go ahead and drop this in now. Now this one doesn't have an external filter, nor does it have a place to put an external filter on it. Like the original Ford pump has an external fuel filter, so I believe this one probably has it on the inside. I can't quite see in there, but I believe it does have it on the inside. So I'll go ahead and get it facing more or less in the right direction. Drop the float in there. And try to make sure everything clears. So go ahead and push it over as much as you can. Get the hoses and whatnot to clear. Get the wires to clear. And so now we're on the bottom of the tank. So I want this arrow, hard to see the arrow. I want the arrow facing forward since the tank is oriented this way. Pretty much just exactly the way the old one came out. Now I don't believe there's any keying or anything on here to get it in oriented correctly. You just got to push it down. Now I noticed one thing last time when I put the old pump. Oh, there's a key right there. So you'll see a little mark. It's got to go in that slot. So be mindful to get that lined up and then drop the ring on and knock it back into position. All right, I got the ring all on there. If you're doing this by yourself, you might want to get some help. It is a real bugger to be able to press this thing down And to get those ring under all those tabs at the same time, it is quite a bit of work. So if you had a helper with a couple extra hands to push down on the center of the fuel pump and to help position a couple corners of the ring under these tabs, it would really make life a lot easier. Anyhow, it's in, it's ready to go. I've just got to hook the electrical connector up to it. Lock the tab back in there. All right, fuel tank's back in. All the hoses are reconnected up here. And with the aid of a jack, I got it back in there. The straps are reconnected. So let's reconnect the battery and go take a look at the engineering units again, see what they say. Battery reconnected. Fuel gauge reads about the same. Reads a little bit lower than it did last time. Last time it was like 91. And it says 58 instead of 60%. Well, let's see if it starts. It runs. Seems to run better than before. It used to start and stall or hesitate right on startup. Anyhow, hope you enjoyed this video. With your help, we can keep these things out of the landfill and out of the figurative recycle bin. You can follow me on Twitter at NorCal715. If this video has helped you, please consider making a donation to my YouTube homepage, PayPal donate button, or paypal.me/NorCal715. Everybody have a great day. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.